And now, ladies and gentlemen, to all the millions and millions of boxing fans watching around the world, welcome to the Tokyo Dome, the Big Egg, right here in one of the greatest cities in the world, Tokyo, Japan. I would like to introduce in the ring at this time, a man known as one of the premier promoters in the world of boxing, Mr. Don King. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. 12 rounds for the heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing his boxing trunks and weighing 238 1/4 pounds with a professional record of 24 victories, 15 by knockout, and only 1 defeat. From Cincinnati, Ohio, he is the second-ranked heavyweight in the world and a former heavyweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, Tony TNT Khan. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing the solid black trunks and weighing 216 1/4 pounds, from Catskill, New York, which is the hometown of the late great trainer of champions, Cus D'Amato. He brings a professional record of 33 victories without a loss, 29 KOs, including 25 KOs in 5 rounds or less, and 15 in the first round alone. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undisputed, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson!
Well, a great reception for Tyson. I mean, they've almost thought it was the return of the old movie star Godzilla, the way they've treated this fellow here, and he's been totally overwhelmed by it.
Mike and Tony, you both received instructions earlier in the day, and therefore you know the rules. I wish you both an awful lot of luck now. Return to your corners to await the starting bell. Good luck.
So referee Arthur McCanty there, public could hear what he was saying. He wishes them both luck. They both know the rules, and certainly McCanty does. And I tell you, he's, well, it's a happy night in many ways for my co-commentator here today, Jim Watt, because it was Arthur McCanty who refereed his contest when he won the championship of the world, and strangely enough, when he lost it to Alex Aguelo, who was also here at ringside. So there you are. All the dignitaries are finished now, and the Muhammad Alis are at ringside, Sugar Ray Leonard's. It's a great event now. Are we to worry about the weight of Tony Tubbs or not? Because he's always been a porky-looking fighter. He started off at about 212 pounds when he turned pro, and he went up to 244 at one time when he lost to Witherspoon, the only defeat. But for a big man, he's got fast hands. It's just a question now whether the durability can stay in there with this absolute murderous puncher, Tyson. 15 in the first round. Tubbs is the WBA number 2, and this is for both the WBC and WBA championships, not for the IBF, as it's not over the 15-round course. And there's some silly talk by the IBF that they might strip Tyson. Well, they'd lose a bit of credibility with me if they do that. Jim, we've seen quite a bit of Tubbs. I mean, for a big man, he can move.
Yeah, Tubbs is a very smart boxer, very talented. He's the type of fighter to give Tyson trouble. And strangely enough, this is about the quietest first half minute of a fight we've seen Tyson in. Normally, it really comes out bombing, but he seems to have settled down here. Maybe he realises this fight could go a few rounds. I don't know.
Well, whatever happens now, certainly I always got the impression that Tubbs was being sold a bit short. It's true he'd let himself down a few times, but you can't do more than keep winning, except for the Witherspoon one. But that was the first right hand now that's got in from Tyson now. Is this strong chin that we talk about of Tubbs going to be standing up to this sort of stuff? well, remember that 2 others, Tony Tucker and Bone Crusher Smith, have stayed the course. It's obviously Tubbs' plan, Jim. He's going to try and do a bit of outsmarting. I mean, that's his move. He may not wish to, well, he'd like to outpunch Tyson, but I think he's going to try and do it with being clever.
Yeah, I think he has to try to score at long range and just stop Tyson from working up close. It's pointless trying to trade power with Mike Tyson, but if he can pin him on the jab, he's landed a couple of jabs and a couple of nice left hooks already, Tubbs. And any time Tyson's got close, he's tied him up.
Well, as Tubbs was saying, he's only as good as what he can hit.
Round 2.
So into the second round, it's always a bit of a relief, Jim, to get that first one over, isn't it? The people getting their money's worth, and really they deserve it, because in yen it's about what, 100,000 yen to a ringside seat. I make that about £435, so they want something for their money. So it's going to be the stalking routine, as always, with Mike Tyson. I think probably the Japanese, if not our viewers, Jim, are a bit surprised that Tubbs is as smart as he is, but for how long?
Yeah, well, Tubbs has had a little bit of success with the jab, a very smart jab. He's pulling his head out of distance, and he's using his reach advantage. We haven't really seen Tyson. As I say, this is about as quiet as we've seen Tyson start, but I know that won't last long.
He's working well inside. If you remember early on, Tyson's infighting wasn't considered that great, but he's looking good doing that. Watch him bringing that, there it is, bringing the uppercut there. I was a big fan of Tubbs when he was an amateur. He was officially the world #2 behind Teofilio Stevenson of Cuba. And it was just a pity that he finished up with, well, almost the contours of a channel swimmer in recent years. But he appears to have buckled down quite a bit now. Anyway, so now he's going to use that 22 pounds advantage, Jim, isn't he, laying on a bit like that?
Yeah, but I thought he was doing better at long range. He was making Tyson miss, and his own left hands were pretty accurate.
See, Tyson, the destroyer, has got to work on this fellow all the time, because it may not be one punch that would do it, as he did when he turned Larry Holmes over. The one punch started the sort of landslide. Oh, what's a good left-hand punch right through Tyson's guard, that went. He's getting shot. His body's broken up on him, Jim, and it's just as well he missed him with that one. It was amazing. We saw it happening, but it still came as a surprise. There was a big duel. What happened there, Jim?
There was a punch inside, Reg, which shook him up badly, but didn't seem to have an effect. But then as the referee broke them up, he keeled over, his legs had gone. It was a short little punch inside, a tremendous little punch. Hopefully we'll see it on replay, but it didn't have an instant effect, but boy, it was a cracker.
Yeah, watch his whole body breaking up there. And you really thought, well, he's going to totter a bit, but he'll be okay. I mean, remember this, he's only ever taken one brief count in his life early on and got up to win, Tubbs. But when this fellow hits them, they stay hit, there's no doubt about it, in the second round. And the doctors are saying, you stay there until we tell you to get up. And if it was body punches, Jim, then he'll be okay.
No, it was a head punch. There was a cracking little hook landed as they were up close, and when the referee pushed them apart, you could see Tubbs' legs had gone. I see there's blood coming from his right eye as well at the moment. But as the referee broke them up, you could see his legs weren't working properly.
Now, let's have another look at that now. He had his back to our commentary position there. That was the left hook then that started the roll, and that was when he couldn't control his legs there. We thought it was a body punch at first, but what a punch that must have been to knock that big man over.
See, I think actually there was a punch before that actually happened. There was a punch when they were inside. See, that one's shaking him badly.
Just as well that one, it would have torn his head from his shoulders. And here's another angle of it, Jim. As you say, the body punch had already come in before this, hadn't it? I mean, he really did lose total control there, as if he was walking on cotton wool. So, Jim, we might see a bit more coming in there, you see. Again, on the top of the head, which takes a bit of the sense that was the dig in the ribs that we were talking about, wasn't it? The right-hand punch. Well, obvious recovery there, but nobody's more surprised than him. And I think the crowd, the way he went. As you say, he also got cut in that exchange. Well, not exchange. I mean, a fusillade of punches that Tyson coming in, and it's quite badly cut too. This man is some fighter, isn't he? He looks unstoppable at the moment. I mean, Tubbs was doing quite well for a round and a half, Jim, and then good night curtains.
Yeah, well, Tubbs looked apart. He was posing a few problems. He was landing nice jabs. He was keeping out of trouble. Even inside, he was trading with Tyson. He was really giving us a show. And then one punch, I mean, you can see he's completely recovered now, completely clear again. But that one punch just completely knocked him right out of the fight.
The official time, 2 minutes. 54 seconds of the second round. The winner by knockout victory. Now 34 consecutive victories. Still the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
Well, he gave the crowd what was expected, something spectacular. I'm wondering now whether at the back of this big arena they'd quite wondered what had gone on there. So now they're trying to, well, not clear the ring, but get into an interview situation with my colleague there. Larry Merchant is trying to get the champ.
Seemed that Tony Tubbs went right at you and tested you, and you were a little bit too strong from him, but he was effective until you hurt him.
Well, he was effective because I planned it that way. I was looking for the opening, because I planned for him to run, and then when I saw he came such a easy target to hit, I was just planning and planning. And he had his hands up very high, and I was surprised that he had his hands up so high. And so I started hitting to the body and bringing it up in the middle. And then as soon as he brought his hands out, I saw his eyes, and I aimed right for his eyes.
He said that nobody had ever gone to your body before, and he wanted to